How's everybody doing? Well, I want to make you guys a little video because this is something that's kind of close to my heart, and I think it needs to be said, and it's all about believing. If you got a dream that you believe to be impossible, which most of us do, I've met a lot of kids that are fantastic at certain different things, whether it be poetry, music, the artistic things I'm talking about here now, painting, drawing, all the stuff that seems to be a really difficult career for parents to wrap their heads around, allowing their children to do. And I don't think it's just the parents, but I think it's society. And I think this kind of crap's got to stop. Because it's only when you truly believe that it is possible to fucking become a drawer, a painter, a poet, a musician, stuff like that, that you can actually follow through in life and actually become one of these things. I mean, we're forcing our children to become, doctors, lawyers, all this stuff. That's what's going to really make your parents proud. Whatever these really top income jobs are, that's what we're telling our kids to head for. Now, it's not, I'm not saying it's a bad thing to have money. You want, of course, for your children, you want them to have financial freedom. That's what you're looking for, because that's where we think our generation, probably went through some tougher times money-wise, and we think that's where true happiness comes from. But the truth is, it's not where true happiness comes from. It's fueling our governments is what it's doing. It's fueling all kinds of other problems in the world. We're forcing all these dreamers, these kids that are doing some amazing, talented things, things that they would love to do that could lead them to a life of happiness. We're driving them into debt is what we're doing. We're driving them into the point whereas they're not getting out of school till they're 35 years old. Pretty much too late in today's day and age to start saving up to try and have a family and the home and everything else. And then they're in debt. They're in debt from the schooling. Thousands, 20, 30. Some of these people are $30,000 in debt. I mean, you want to be a doctor or a lawyer, it could be upwards of $50,000, $60,000 in debt by the time you're done with all that crap. And to what end? To what end? What happened to all these years? What happened to these years from when they're youngsters playing with Lego and to the point where now they're 30 years old? What happened? That's half their life that we've effectively helped them waste away. In my opinion. So I got a little bit of some stuff I wrote down here. I'm going to go over it, and you could take it, you could leave it. It's just a little bit of my opinions on what's going on in the world today and what we need to do to try and change that to make this world a better place for us and our children, especially our children and our grandchildren. So it's only when you truly believe it's possible that a dream can and will manifest itself into your reality. Now, and to understand what I'm going to talk about here today, reality I'm talking about is in the now. I mean, basically we are all energy, and we're just experiencing reality. It's just the experience, in my opinion, the human life, the human day-to-day tasks of the soul within the body is just experiencing reality as it is. So in your reality. Now, that's not a new concept either, by the way. That knowledge has been recorded and it's been passed on to every generation of the human race for thousands of years. It's in ancient scrolls and inscriptions, and it's between the lines of your Bibles, all your different religions. Read it, you'll find it. It's even still practiced by some, the Shaolin monk type stuff up in Tibet and stuff like that. It's still going on today. So that's not a new concept about manifesting belief into reality. Reality is just in the now. So as long as you believe that what I'm telling you, for example, right now is a bunch of bullshit, then it's not true, is what I'm saying. You have to truly believe in yourself. You have to believe that, before we can manifest anything into our real life, into a physical form, the first thing we need is belief. And that's what's missing, okay? That's what this is all about here today. We're not believing in our children, and we're teaching them things that are going to lead to exactly where we're at, which is not a great place to be. Look at the state of our financial world. Look at our state of just read the newspapers. You see it on the news, all the crap that's gone on in the planet. We certainly haven't become more enlightened by this way of thinking, and I think this is why this way of thinking needs to change. So the thing is, you have to truly believe, and if you can, it is possible, and it's got to be a pure belief. If a single hidden thought in your mind does not believe, well, your dream's going to stay locked away. It's going to remain a dream forever. Okay? And it's us that's implanting this stuff into our children, these hidden thoughts in their mind as they're growing up. You can't do that. You got to become you got to do this, you got to do that. And I'm going to get into this stuff as we go on. Okay? So 99% of the people that are listening to me right now will not believe what they're hearing to be true. And that's fine. Okay, fine. I'm only looking for the 1%, because the 1% already realize there is no dream. A dream is simply the residue of some ancient, long, unused parts of your mind that you and I have been conditioned and controlled and manipulated all our lives never to realize since the day you were born. Okay? So to summarize that a little bit, like, your current reality is literally a result of collective manifestation of all of your current beliefs, okay? And you've been given these beliefs since birth. You've been, you've been told all these things are true, so they, that's what becomes your reality. That's what brings the focus of your life in, and that's what gives you your theories on good and bad and hate and love and everything that goes along with it, right? So your current reality is based on what your current beliefs are, okay? For example, a murderer, his reality might be different because he was always, had so many mental, got problems as a child, whatever the hell it may be, mental things that went on in his childhood. He saw a lot of violence. She saw a lot of violence, saw a lot of murder in their own life, and we manifest that into our own path in life, our own realities. And this is so true, and it's very important. So listen up. This is some important stuff here for our future generations. Okay, so it's literally a collective manifestation of all of your current beliefs, and for most of us, our mind can barely compute the possibility that we could ever achieve our dreams because we simply don't believe it's possible, and that's why. Okay, so think of this for a moment. Whenever we see somebody that's excelling at something, I'll use sports. Wayne Gretzky, some of the great hockey players. Guys like this, we sit back as the hockey dad and go, wow, man, that there's some natural talent. That kid was born with that. That's in his DNA, right? And that's what we tell our son. He's playing hockey out there, and it's like, look at Gretzky. Look at that guy. Oh, that's some natural talent. He was born with that talent. Okay, it's in his DNA. It's not at all. In fact, okay. It's only because we believe that, and we continue to believe that, when the truth is that every individual is no different than that person. Your son and Gretzky have the same ability, okay? It's just laying dormant, and it's waiting to be awoken, for it to waken up. And I'm here to tell you here through this little bit of information, that the first step to that is the believing. Is the believing in not only your son, but you have to believe in your mind also in your son's ability or your daughter's or whatever. That's what we have to start doing as parents. We have to start saying, yeah, wow, geez, kid's really good with Lego. Maybe he should be an architect. We got to see that stuff when they're 5 years old. Don't slam them into fucking kindergarten and have them start to teach them about, some bullshit that has nothing to do with what the kid really wants to do in his dreams, like what he really wants to do to be happy in life, to find enlightenment in life. We have to start our children young, teach them to follow their dreams, that's okay. It's not bad to do that. We're teaching them it's horrible to follow your dreams, and I'm going to get into this stuff a little deeper here as we go on. So think of this for a moment. We see the Wayne Gretzky, and we're saying like, oh, geez, that he's really got talent, but the truth is, we've got that talent. We just got to believe that we have it, right? I know it sounds like crazy talk, right? Am I saying that if somebody's dream is to fly there, they should as long as they truly believe it, and they should jump off a building as long as they really believe they're gonna grow wings? No, I'm not that crazy. I'm loopy. I'm pretty crazy, but I'm not saying that kind of craziness, okay? And maybe at one time, that's what I truly believe. I think at one time, yes, the human body was enlightened to that level that maybe it could have been possible, but thanks to thousands of years of regression of the human mind and shrinkages of the pineal gland, which I'm not going to get into in this, but we polluted this thing, this abilities, these extrasensory organs that we have in our brain. We've polluted this with toxins and through diets and all this crap that's been thrown out through our government for so many years that that stuff's regressed and it's very hard to access anymore. But and these are permanent changes that's been done to our DNA that it's limiting our bodies to certain universal rules that one mind can't easily overcome. But what I am saying is, if your dream, not just children here, I know I've been referencing children a lot, but not just your children, but if if your dream itself is to be a painter, an athlete, a poet, a musician, an artist, all these things, the stuff we love to do in life, and that maybe you want to skateboard all your life away. Maybe you want to find a path that you could just skateboard all your life away, Some kids have these dreams, and you have it in you to believe, and if you can do that, and I'm talking without any of the other tiny little pieces in the back of your mind saying, no, you can't do it. You got to get rid of that stuff. That's the hard part we're going to talk about here. You can do exactly that. It's just that you've been conditioned to think it's impossible to do these kind of things. You've been led to believe that these are supposed to be just activities and time wasters and should never be more of a hobby for you, right? That's not true. That's what I'm telling you here today. It's not true. That's just what we've been conditioned to believe is true, okay? And I'm going to tell you why. I'm going to tell you why we believe it's true too. And we've been conditioned that for a specific reason. It's not just out of the blue this stuff happened. So you've been led to believe that these activities are time wasters, can only be much of a hobby. But the thing is, the only thing holding you back from that dream is your unconditional belief in your ability to do so. You've been forced to think that the biggest dream in your life must first and foremost include getting rich, right? That's what it's all about. Just imagine the freedom. Woo! Who says that? Lottery company, right? Lottery company. Bombard your commercials all the time when he's buying lottery tickets, lottery tickets. Imagine the freedom. Imagine the freedom. Well, to me, that's kind of insinuating if I don't get rich, then I'm not free, right? That's what it's putting into your... This is what this stuff is driving at. These governments up here, this is what they're driving into people's minds, that you have to associate your dream with money. Okay, and it has to be a lot of money. So the only way you're going to get a lot of money is to go through our education system for the next 30, 25 years, or you're going to win the fucking lottery. Okay, it's not true. Okay, it's simply not true, because your dream is a separate thing from being rich. Okay, that's what I'm trying to tell you here today. You don't have to get rich to follow a dream. But that we teach our children that. It's like, how could you possibly, ever follow a dream if you didn't have, all kinds of money? So just imagine the freedom. And it's just funny who controls that, right? Just imagine the freedom. It kind of implies that you're not free right now. So anyways, and that, what does that do? That conditioning, just imagine the freedom about the money and relating that to dreaming. It ensures that you and I, and our children are all a bunch of partners in enslavement. And that having money to consume whatever we want and as much as we want, whenever we want, as often as possible, as we please, that's the thing that's going to provide you with true happiness and joy and a lifetime of fulfillment. Money. And the dreams, they'll just come automatically because you have all this money. Not true. Not true whatsoever. Okay? So your dream, whatever it may be, is attainable. You just need to be willing to take the leap of faith and start the process of reprogramming your mind with some positive energies, okay, and unconditional beliefs. Unconditional beliefs, and this is the hard part I spoke of opening up today's presentation here, this sermon here. So it's attainable. You just need to be willing to take the leap of faith, start the process of reprogramming your mind with positive energies and this unconditional belief in ways specifically designed to lead you to your dream, okay, and that's going to require change, and maybe in many aspects of your life, okay, and including the work part. I'm not saying that you don't have to work for this, okay. There's going to be work, Oof. I know it doesn't sound like any part of anybody's dream, work. But anyways, we can associate work with dreams. I'm going to show you how here. I'm going to tell you how. How you take this information is totally up to you, okay. Unfortunately, it's going to take a lot of amazing amount of hard work and sacrifice, and maybe even some blood and sweat and tears and all that kind of stuff, and blisters and hunger even maybe. Maybe you're going to have some times where you're going to be hungry following your dreams, okay? But, the good news is, the good news at the end of all this hard work is the work that you're going to be doing, okay? The blood you're going to be given, the hunger you're going to be feeling, the sweat and the sacrifice you're going to be making. This is going to be eased with enlightenment. Okay, and that enlightenment that you're going to get is going to be from a lifetime doing what you love and what you were born to do, not being a slave to some fucking system. Okay, and so much so in time as you go through your life, living through the hard work, living your dream. Okay, it's not going to feel like work at all because it's what you were born to do. Not like the rest of us. Fucking slave over the fucking computers or the hammers out there all day, or doing these mundane fucking tasks for the government, that we do, that we try and pretend that's a career, Now let me clear something up here too, because I'm saying enlightenment a lot in this video. Enlightenment, the word, a lot of people associate that with religion, and this is not a religious conversation is what I'm talking about here. I'm not saying that you need spiritual enlightenment, like you should go and pick up a Bible and find Jesus, although, okay, with due respect, some people do find their enlightenment this way in life, and that's fine, okay? But more importantly, what I mean is that you realize that you do have an inner energy that you can find, and you can awaken it and use it. It's yours. We all have it. You were born with it. It's part of you. It's part of the very fabric of life itself. Okay? And we got to talk about this work topic a little more. It's important that you realize this. You can't be a slacker and expect to realize a dream. In fact, the following of a dream, probably in the beginning, the journey that it takes to get you there, is sometimes a lot harder work. I think it takes a lot more passion, a lot more blood, a lot more sweat, a lot more tears than just following a day job somewhere, or becoming schooled through the system and spit out the other end with all this debt and becoming a fucking doctor or lawyer or some career like this. The work of following a dream has a lot better reward at the end, though, because you get the lifetime of fulfillment that I was talking about. You're not going to work till you're 65, 70 years old and beating the hell out of your body and being depressed every day and hating your job. You're going to get to do something that you love to do all your life. So that's like winning the lottery, right? I mean, well, who wouldn't want to just skateboard all day long, or ride a bike, or whatever you do, whatever you like to do, play guitar, be in a rock band, be a whatever it may be, play golf. Maybe you want to play golf all your life. Whatever it may be, the things that you enjoy in life, let's try and focus our careers on things that we love to do. That's what's going to promote a healthier society, okay? And I'm not going to get off topic here too much, but speaking of that, when we're doing things we love, it's proven science, okay? We get healthier. It's just simple as that. And you know why? Because of the stress, okay? We have a lot of stress in our mundane tasks that we have to be forced to do in this fucking puppeteers that are controlling us to do. But when we're doing something we love, the stress level goes down, the blood pressure comes down. We create a healthier society, okay? So this is just one of the benefits, okay, parents? These are the benefits to letting your kid follow his dream, as he'll probably not die of a heart attack at 30 years old because he's fucking stressed out from the job that you forced him into. So take that one and think about that for a minute. Wrap your brain around that, because we all want our children to be healthy, right, when they get older. So where are we here? Okay, so what's happened is we're worker bees, right? I mean, us, the parents of the 40, 50 something year old parents right now, we're a bunch of worker bees, man. We're in this hive, right? We got our house, we got our cars, we got our mortgages, we got our fucking our hydro bills and our phone bills and our TV bills and our internet bills and all these fucking bills piling up on us, all to do with this money thing again, that's supposed to be the thing that's going to create happiness for us. The constant chasing of this fucking token, these paper dollars. These are the things that are supposed to make us happy, right? But what they do is they just add a hell of a lot more stress onto us, and in turn put us in the hospital, at a young age. So we're worker bees, okay? And the problem is that the work that we do doesn't provide us, for most part, with any kind of enlightenment, okay? And what happens is that worker bees that attain any kind of enlightenment and figure out ways of following their dreams, well, that's like kryptonite to the consumer-based, monetary-based, education-based society that we have. And frankly, you don't fit in. You're outcast. You're an outcast. So that's why we have very little people fucking chasing their dreams now, because you get outcast from society. You're the forgotten ones. You're not going to go anywhere with that, right? You better get on this program and do exactly what we want you to do, right? They want you in the job, right? Because too many of those kind of people, they're going to quickly destroy that monetary system. And let's face it, like, if the slave's time is spent following his dreams, or figuring out a way not to be a slave, well, that's time taken away from the consumer-based society. These people might become enlightened. They might realize, like, if enough people were doing what they love to do, they might realize that, hey, I can actually make a living singing or dancing and painting, or spending hours at a skateboard park, or becoming a musician in a rock band, and eventually not feel as much of a need for this shit they're pumping out, the bigger computer, the bigger, smarter TV, the big house, and all this crap, and the debt that goes along with it. We might even start communicating, again, with words. Might start talking to each other, and not texting as much, or posting their personal information on all these sites. And then these puppeteers up here, they won't be able to spy on their populations, right? So then they're not going to know what to sell us next, how they're going to get more of our money out of us, because that's what they want to do. They just want to keep on taking all that money, because the only way you could get free is to win the fucking lottery, right? Let's face it. That's the freedom. Imagine the freedom. It's the only way you're going to get free is to win that fucking lottery, right? So if we do have any money left at the end of the month after we paid all these damn bills, what do we do? Buy a lottery ticket. They take every last dime out of us, right? So now, so the thing is, yeah, bigger, smarter TVs and all that, the next gadget, because we may figure out, that eventually we don't need any of this crap, right? And we don't have any desire, or certainly less of a desire, to spend all of our time on this useless crap that doesn't. It's like bubblegum for the mind, all this computer shit and everything they're keeping us in front of. You know, and here's an example for you. Look up, just for interest's sake, look up, you know, currently how many people online on Facebook. At any given time, there's like 50 million or 500 million or some crazy freaking number that you won't even believe. At any given time, day or night, 24 hours a day, millions and millions and millions and millions of people are sitting here in front of their computer, and that's what they do. That's their enlightenment in life. They come home from work and they just sit there glued to it. You know, half of it's just stupid shit for the mind. Little games there, whatever, slot machines even. Bing, 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 bing. That's their enlightened lifestyle that they get to live. So we got to get away from this, people. I mean, this is serious stuff. This is serious stuff I'm talking about here. We got to start letting our kids follow their dreams, so we can create a society of people that are doing stuff they love, so they can become enlightened and enjoy life the way it was supposed to be. Not what are, you know, this system that's broken. We know it's broken. Look at this financial crash and everything that's going on. I mean, this is a long time coming. Eventually, all this crap has to go down the toilet, because it's not the way humans were designed to work in the physical world. Okay, we're supposed to be enjoying life. That's what you were put here for. You know, if you're spiritual, you know exactly what I'm talking about. You know, go to your church, they'll tell you you weren't put on this earth to be a freaking worker bee there slaving off you know, things. You're supposed to be enjoying the great things that your God, whoever that may be, you know, Jesus and all that, or maybe it's Allah or whoever it is that you choose to follow, and that's great. But it all comes down to you're not supposed to be stressed out. You're supposed to be enjoying this planet. That's what you're supposed to be doing. You're not supposed to be freaking out and wondering where your next dollar's coming from. So, where were we here? So it's going to take a lot of work, a lot of hard work, you know, the sacrifice, the blood, sweat, and tears. We talked about that. And it's not going to feel like work at all, because you're doing something that you love, right? And I'm not, you know, I'm not talking about spiritual enlightenment here in a way of following the Bible. I'm talking about opening up your mind and realizing that it is possible for you to do that, as long as you're willing to put the work in to do it, okay? Because the work that most of us has done is, you know, it's only to earn the tokens, the money that can be traded for material items, you know, by these puppeteers up here, which is a whole other topic. But those materials are just trinkets and stuff like that have been designed to satisfy us and keep us, you know, busy during the time that we're not working or doing the slave things, to ensure as many people spend any time becoming enlightened or following a dream. Now, why would they do this? Why do they set it up like that? Because we don't fit in, like I was saying earlier. We're not going to have the bigger, smarter TVs and all that, and that's just going to, you know, that's going to be not good for their financial system, right? It's going to break down over time, because we're not going to want to buy all this shit that they're trying to push at us. We might have a need eventually, you know, if we could get this going here, for these people, these dreamers that we call, these time wasters. You know, if they found a way to create a society where they were sharing food and community gardening and all these kind of great ideas that are going on out here, you know, I mean, that sounds a hell of a lot better than me, you know, growing some healthy food and sharing your food amongst your friends. And, you know, like you've got community projects that you're working on together, and nobody needs a whole lot of money, you know, because everybody's sharing, because we're all people, we're all humans, right? This is the type of society that will be created through allowing these dreamers, these so-called time wasters of ours, to do that stuff, to follow their dreams, okay? Because like generations now, where are we here? Generations of human minds have been slowly pushed into the dark. We've been manipulated and enslaved into teaching our children from birth to be part of that system, right? Go to school, go to this specific school, pick a career from the specific list. What then? Once you get out of school, well, you're going to need a house, buy a house, get in even more debt. You know, most of them, like we're saying, we got these OSAP loads and everything that's on top of them now, so they're already full of stress. Then we want to better have a family, because, you know, your biological clock's ticking now. If you want to have a family, you better have it soon. Well, of course, they're already 25 years old coming out of school, and they got a house under them, and now they're talking about trying to get kids. You know, it's just, there's so much of this stress going on, and meanwhile, all they want to do is follow their dream to begin with, right? But, I mean, we've been told, you know, create as many little consumers as we can. You know, don't allow them to follow their dreams. Make sure you tell them that's a waste of life. Because we, the parents, okay, we believe, there's that word again, okay, that happiness or success is achieved by the attainment of as many tokens or as much money in order to consume as many material things as often and as possible and as quickly as possible, and in turn remaining enslaved by those token holders, okay? So they can build more things that can be consumed without regard at all for the amazing talents of the dreamers and the human mind, right? That's what we're throwing out here. We're throwing away beautiful minds, these beautiful musicians and poets and painters and things like this, and amazing, you know, ability sports kids, the things that are into skateboarding and the skate parks and these BMXs and all this stuff, and these amazing kids, their dreams are getting thrown away. We're throwing all away to trade that for money, because money is the most important thing, and that's what we've been told, right? I'm fucking smoking like a chimney here. The government's got me addicted to that shit. See, there's another one. Don't get me started on that. That's another thing that makes sure I don't have any actual money left to do the things I love to do. I'm addicted to this crap. All right, so anyway, where are we? Okay, no. Okay, so, I've met hundreds of young artists. I've been lucky here at the garage. You guys may have heard of it. If not, we've been running a kind of a community thing here for a long time. Kids, I see lots of kids around here. Bands, we support these bands, different bands touring across Canada, North America, stuff like that. So I get to meet a lot of these guys. You know, the last 10 years I've met all kinds of them. There's tons of them just in the city I live in here. So what I found is that none of them people that are following their dreams, you know, none of them, not one single one that I've met yet, has been a big consumer. In fact, most of them have very little money. Okay, so they consume the very least of any of us, these dreamers. Okay. So I've come to the conclusion that following a dream of being an artist, a dancer, a musician, a painter, you know, again, the fun things that we love to do in life, that's not likely going to be accompanied by a lot of consumerism. Okay, certainly not a significant percentage of those people anyways, and hardly at all, if any, at a young age. But we, the parents, the 50, 40, 50-something-year-old parents of these pressured, you know, these dreamers that we're suppressing, these time wasters, we sit back and can't understand why someone, you know, the art of today or the music of today is such crap, you know. And at the same time, we're always bombarding our children with statements like, you know, well, you'll never make it, you know, you should just stop that crap, you're never going to make it. Only 1 in a million bands ever make it, or 1 in a million ever, you know, guys on skateboard and skate park ever make it big. 1 in a million, you'll never make it, so stop dreaming and pick a career, you know, from this list here that's going to make you money. You'll never make it. You know, I hear that all the time. You'll never make it. You know, well, what is it? Well, it, in the drone's mind, the parent, you know, is that you, the dreamer, okay, will never achieve my or our ability or level of income or to consume or collect tokens. So, in other words, by following this dream, you couldn't possibly become a quality consumer, and therefore you won't be happy, and you're going to live a poor, miserable life, and you'll probably starve. Because we base everything on we've been told to, we've been conditioned, we've been mesmerized by these governments over the years to believe that any happiness in life has to be directly resulted to money. Simple as that. Money. And this is where you've seen good bands over the years that were fantastic and then sell out to certain labels for the money and they go to shit in the next 2 years. Okay? That happens too. I mean, because they get consumed by this fucking system of the money, right? Because we're consumers. We're designed that way from birth. We're told that money is the most important thing, you know. All right. They got a few other things in common too. I noticed these dreamers, right? These poets and painters and dancers and musicians and this kind of stuff. They got a couple other things in common, and one of them is they seem to be the most outspoken in the group on the protection of the environment or the planet that we live on. Okay. So number 2 things now. I mean, there's a few. We're going to go on here, a bunch of them. And I know I'm going fast here, so try and wrap your brain around this. But they're the most outspoken on the protection of the environment. There's a high percentage of vegans amongst them. Okay, they seem to be all pro-choice. Okay, anti-war, and there seems to be little or no ethnic or religious prejudices amongst any of them. So I find it kind of strange how there seems to be this correlation between the dreamers, the time wasters, right? Your musicians and artists and painters and dancers and all that, people doing what they love or following their dreams, and the health of the fucking planet. Wow. Okay, so maybe that's telling us something. Maybe we should start to tune into this a little bit here, okay, people? Maybe we should start to think, maybe we should start letting our kids follow their dreams. Maybe this isn't such a bad thing. You know, maybe in fact it's those kind of people with those type of thinking that are going to in fact save our planet, okay? So wrap your brain around that one for a little bit. Now, there's one other thing I noticed, and it's a sensitive subject, and it's going to get some people pissed off, especially people that are really stuck in their way of thinking, but I got to say it because it seems to be another for whatever reason, it seems to be another thing that, you know, that's quite prominent among these type of people that are following their dreams. And I spent some time thinking about this, and I got some reasoning behind why I think so. So just hear me out. The use of marijuana, okay, smoking pot, all right. I mean, there's all kinds of you know, pros and cons on this stuff. I want to get in a huge debate about this. This is simply some observations I've made on this stuff, okay? So marijuana use. This is an observation. Why is that we, okay, the parents of the generations that have been told or programmed for so long by our governments again, and the TV and the propaganda and the bullshit, all of our lives to believe that it was so harmful and it was going to lead our youth into a path of destruction? Warps your mind, you know? It's the gateway drug. It's going to destroy your life. There seems to be no proof of this whatsoever, okay? In fact, one could easily argue that it's quite the opposite. According to the recent science, it may have many positive uses. Not all of which are limited to smoking it. I'm talking like just its uses, okay? The stuff could be curing cancer. Go figure. You know, the stuff that we were told, you know, was the devil's fucking weed and all this, okay, when we were growing up, okay? It's proving to be quite harmless. Now, I talked to lots of people about it. And what do you get out of it? What do you ask? What do you get out of it? What do you get out? You know, share ideas. You know, what do you get? What do you feel when you get, you know, smoke a joint, whatever? And it's endless, okay? But there's a few very common denominators. The first thing people say, first and foremost, it relieves stress, okay? Stress. Well, imagine that. Check out the stats online. Go ahead. Stress, #1 killer of people. Heart attacks, stress, you name it. Stress is the #1 killer out there. Okay, it's way above, you know, cigarettes even, as far as killing people goes. Stress, early heart attacks, young age. So if it's going to relieve some stress, it's also got a calming effect, apparently. Calming effect. That sounds horrible, right? If you've ever had a conversation with somebody that uses it frequently, it certainly opens your mind to new and different ideas. New and different ideas. Promotes creativity. People say when I smoke it, you know, I can just write my lyrics, or I can do my poetry, or I can really get focused on my drawing or my painting. And apparently now we know for a fact it's not physically addictive. Okay, people that have used it all their life, when it comes to a certain point in their life, have no problem quitting it cold turkey without an issue whatsoever, and they seem to maintain that ability to take it or leave it without any issue at all. And I ask you this, try that with a tobacco smoker or alcohol-dependent person, these things that are controlled by the government, right? So, just some stuff for thought there. Now, here's the other part of the subject. Does it belong in the workplace, you know? Should the kids be allowed to fucking smoke this stuff and then go off to work and do this stuff in their workplace? Be high in the workplace? Well, it depends, okay? If the workplace is a drone environment, you know, where it offers no hope of enlightenment, definitely not. Okay? Because when our minds are arguably in this higher state of consciousness through its use, you may not be able to focus on your task at hand, okay? And then that can lead to injuries and stuff like this. So no, I don't think so. You know, you're not going to be able to focus on your mundane task, and it doesn't usually result in a good worker bee, okay? A good productive worker bee. On the other side, okay, now hear me out and wrap your brain around this. If the work is doing something that you love, like being the artist, the writer, the poet, the painter, the musician, well, I leave that up to the individual. You know, and one thing I can tell you though, it's my belief, okay, that music, the best music and poems and paintings should be done by people while they're in a stress-free, calm state of mind, and that stuff should be definitely based on new and different ideas, especially art. And if using it helps to bring these benefits to that reality of that dedicated dream follower, have at her. That's what I say. Have at her. Now, balance, obviously, is life. And you can look this stuff up when you want to start talking about different things with chakras and yin and yang and everything else and positive and negative energy flows of the planet and stuff like this. Balance is key in life, okay? You have to balance the negatives with the positives and find your little place in between where everything is nice and centered. You have to be able to find your center in life, okay? So, balance is key, and I believe that the use of that marijuana needs to be in moderation. And it can possibly enhance and expand your mind, but it can't and shouldn't be continuously used for extended periods of time where you're stoned all fucking day, and you're never really spending any time in reality. Being perma-stoned or in an altered state of mind all the time doesn't help anybody, okay? So that's my opinion on that subject. All right. Now, that's done. That's over. If you want to comment about it, go ahead and comment. That's my belief on that subject. And I know it's a sensitive one, but there's some things that I've noticed, okay, through the use of it myself over the years, moderation use, and also what I've seen with the musicians and the artists and the poets and the painters and things like this. So that's my stand on that. So what I'm telling you out there, my precious dreamers, is that once you truly believe that you can attain your dream and make the changes to lead you in the direction of attaining that dream, the work and the effort that you're doing in life is going to be happening in a brand new reality for you, okay? And you'll no longer be simply working to attain these paper tokens to survive. You're going to have a new energy in your life, okay? You've begun down the path of opening your mind's eye to allow your dream to manifest itself into your reality. So that work is now for purpose. You now have a purpose. Not like these people, like, I'm stuck in this job where it seems to have no purpose and I'm miserable at the end of the day and all this shit. I'm talking about, and many other thousands of people out there that are under this fucking puppeteer government that we have. They're working these blue-collar jobs, same thing. But you, following your dream, that work, it's not going to seem like work at all after a while. And eventually, you're going to realize that that work has purpose. It's going to give you purpose in life. And wow, imagine that. Having a purpose in life, a direct result of following your dream. So you could start to see what I'm saying through this. Hopefully this stuff is sinking into some of you people out there. You know, and it's not going to be easy. I'm not saying it's going to happen overnight. In fact, it's going to happen slow at first. You know, really slow. And you can find yourself losing faith. This is what happens to a lot of people following their dreams. You know? First of all, they don't realize how much work is going to have to be involved, and they just realize after a while that they just don't, they like can't handle that much work in their life to follow their dream, and they take a different career path, and that's fine. But for those of you that don't believe that you can do, you know, what you want to do for a living in life, you can certainly do it. You just have to be willing to put a lot of hard work into getting there, right? So it's not going to happen overnight. You may find yourself losing the faith in your attainability of your dream, and people around you, could be friends, brothers, relatives, parents, are the worst ones probably for this. They're going to bombard you with negativity and give you 1,000 reasons why you should stop doing what you're doing. Because realistically here, you're trying to create a new and different reality or way of life. So it's going to be something that people are going to be bombarding you with all kinds of negativity on. So be prepared, because you're going to be fighting off what you, and also what you've been trained to believe all your life. You know, this is a whole process you're going to have to flip your mind around. And you're going to be left with the residue of your former way of thinking and that thought process, and you're going to be vulnerable to your old ways of thinking, especially under influence of alcohol. Stay the fuck away from that shit, okay? When you're trying to follow a dream, it seems to have huge negative effects on people, makes them depressed, and you generally have a hard time ending up getting to that plateau of meeting your dream through alcohol. Now, I don't know about the marijuana, but I'm saying alcohol, I can tell you from my experience, generally throws you down the tubers. So take that in moderation, even more so than the marijuana. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with a couple beers here and there, but stuff like that, don't get too heavy into the bottle. Where are we here? Losing control here. So you're going to surround yourself, you know, surround yourself with pictures, objects, but most importantly, people of same thought. Okay, get yourself in groups that are heading for the same type of dream you are. That's the type of people you want to hang around with, right? And through that process, you know, you may even have to separate yourself from loved ones. You know, these are some big sacrifices that people don't make, but they sometimes need to be done, because if that negative energy in your life is coming from people you love, and you're going to have to weigh that out with following your dream or listening to that negativity. And don't worry, eventually the loved ones come around, okay? They will come around. Once you show them that you're working very hard and you're attaining that dream, your loved ones will start to change their mind, because truly all any parent wants in life is for their children to be financially stable and doing something like that. That's just the human nature. But because they've been conditioned for a long time to believe that this isn't possible and it goes against society, you know, they're really going to try and force you away from following it. So it may be necessary to separate yourself from them to get them to understand that eventually. So yeah, things like writing your dreams down and reading them often, deciding if that particular dream, or not dream, sorry, your dreams and thoughts, write them down, decide if that particular dream or thought left you with a positive feeling or a negative feeling, and then do a physical thing, like take your negative writings that you've done that didn't really seem to be pushing you in the direction you want to go, that, you know, had a bad day, write that out, get it out of your system, don't carry that till tomorrow, write down those dreams, you know, push them off, And it's better than pushing them off on your spouse or your I'm not going to talk about relationships. I may do a video on relationships, but I'm not talking about that right now. But let's just assume you don't have a spouse or relationship going on. Write those dreams down and throw them in the garbage. Okay, get rid of them in a physical fashion and watch them go in the garbage. Light them on fire, even if you got a safe place in the backyard. Light that fucking paper on fire. Watch it burn. Be done with that negativity. Get it out of your life in a physical form. Push that stuff out. That's going to leave more room for more positive stuff. Okay, because in time it's going to push that negative energy out of your current reality. Right? That's what we're talking about here. So I know. Now let's just step back here for a second. Writing your thoughts down. Or dreams, and writing them on paper. And just so you know, this isn't like this is the same cigarette that's going on. It keeps going out because I keep talking and I'm not smoking. It's going out. Although I do smoke way too much. But anyways, so yeah, so write those dreams down. And I'm not saying here that you know, something crazy. Okay, I know it sounds that way when you think of if I fucking write my dreams down on a piece of paper and I throw the bad ones out, and as long as I keep reading the good ones, and I'm eventually see my dream come to reality. Well, no, I'm not saying it's going to happen because of that, but that is a process of pushing the negative energy out of your life and allowing more positive thoughts to come in. That's what that is. That's simply part of the exercise of getting the negativity out of your physical world. Okay, and watching it, the physical act of watching it, because our sense of sight, you know, it's the first thing that goes into our brain, and watching your negative feelings burn away is an easy way to clear your mind for the more positive thinking. So I know it sounds like something some TV self-help dude told you to do from the 90s or something, some guru late night TV guy, but that's not at all. You know, that stuff isn't new, actually. It's been known since the beginning of time. You can read up on it on the internet. There's all kinds of information on that stuff. Because we've forgotten, for the most part, how to use our minds in positive ways. You know, so that process is going to slowly reprogram your mind, replacing the negative energies with new positive energies. Because, guys, this stuff, it's all about the power of positive thinking. And I mean, you can check out that shit online too. There's all kinds of information on the power of positive thinking. And the more we think together, I mean, we've got like this aura around us, and we can all think positively together, and, you know, push that positive energy out, and energy goes where intention flows. So we put out really good intentions, lots of energy gets created, great things happen. I'm going to do another video that's going to have some of that information in it later, but we got to stick to this following your dreams here for now. So when you fill your mind with an idea long enough, like you can do what you want to do, you can really truly believe this. Okay, you have to really train your brain to get rid of all those negative thoughts, and you truly believe when you fill your mind with that idea long enough, and then you combine that with the sacrifice we talked about in life, with the hard work and the blood and the sweat and the tears and the blisters and all that crap, you can achieve amazing things. Humanity can achieve amazing things. It's proven. Now remember, we were talking up earlier here about the person that was born to do that. Oh, he was born to do that. It must have been in the genes, you know, the Wayne Gretzky's of the world and stuff like this. What I'm telling you is simple, okay? If your dream is to truly be able to do what you want to do in life, okay, and you're willing to put in the work to do it, and you can free yourself from a lifetime of what you've been told that you can't do, you will achieve it. Okay? So don't forget that. Oh, and like I said, you know, the people that try and stop you, okay, it might be friends and relatives, other people, who knows who it is, a whole bunch of people probably in your life, maybe even, you know, authority figures in your life, okay? Don't blame them, don't get in fights with them over this following of a dream that you want to do, because they just want the best for you, and they believe, because that's what they've been told to believe, okay, that what they're doing is trying to help you. So you're not going to change their mind that easily, okay? That's only going to breed negative energy. You start fighting with them over this stuff, and that's just going to breed a bunch of negative energy, because they really believe that you can't do it, and that's not their fault. They believe they're protecting you to make sure you don't end up fucking growing up and having to live in the street and, you know, becoming, you know, like a horrible life or whatever. So it's not their fault. Don't argue with them. It's only going to breed negativity. Separate from that part of your life. You have to get the negative out, and sometimes that's the sacrifice that has to be made. You have to separate from people that you truly love so you can attain this dream. And trust me, it won't be that long. Once these people start to see that you're actually successful at what you're doing, and you're not laying in some gutter somewhere, that you're following your dream and you're happy, and there's going to be this new energy, and your aura is going to be, you're just so happy all the time because you're following your dream. They're going to start to believe as well, you know. And in turn, we're gonna hopefully what this stuff will do. I mean, these things that I'm talking about. Hopefully, this isn't all just, I'm not just talking to myself here. I mean, even if one person starts to believe because of what I'm telling you here today, then it's worth it. But at any rate, over time, you see, we can get many people doing this, and we can get generations around the world thinking this. Like, start believing in your children. Start letting them follow their dreams. It's not a sin to not send them to all these best schools and force them into these fucking careers that they're not going to necessarily be enlightened with after all, you know, in the end of the game. Because that's what it's all about. You're only on this earth for a short while, right? So let's do something we love to do. Let's spend a life doing what we were meant to do. And if you're religious at all, any God, I don't care who he is, that's what he put you on this earth to do, is to enjoy this beautiful thing that he gave you, this life. He, she, I mean, I'm using it in the he, but I mean, who knows, God, woman, male, female, and probably non-gender. But at any rate, that's what I believe that you were given this life to do, is to enjoy it, to spend every moment of it doing something that you love, enjoying the life you've been given. Not fucking sitting in some desk somewhere over here, worrying about how many fucking tokens you can collect. And I'm sorry for swearing, but I get that way when I start talking about things that I'm passionate about. So, I'll bleep them out later, right? We use the bleeper button. So, where are we at here? We're way, excuse me here while I'm scrolling down. I'm using points here, I don't know, notes. And I'm getting down to the bottom. Okay, so here we go. Where are we at here? Yeah, we went over all that stuff. Yeah, okay, dreams, yeah, follow dreams, okay. So can we possibly reverse this? That's what the next topic is here. Can we reverse this thing that we've done, this you know, thousands of years of conditioning and the physical hijacking possibly of our DNA, okay, that's been done? Because I truly believe that we have powers within us that we're not capable to use because of the crap that's put in our food and all kinds of stuff. So in my mind, my humanity's DNA has been hijacked, you know, to keep us in this drone fucking environment. But anyways, well, that depends. Okay, can we? Well, it depends on what you and I and he and she and them and they and what we all collectively believe is possible. It's all about believing, you know, the power in believing, right? Can you achieve? You know, can you achieve and change your individual reality and in effect realize your dream? Yes, you can. Okay, you can definitely do it. James Millard told you could do it, so you can do it. Trust me. Go do it. Make it happen, okay? Because 1% of the population right now, they're already doing it. And guess what? The more people that choose to change their individual reality this way, and the more parents get on this bandwagon about letting their kids follow their dreams and helping them do that, you know, they're going to need help, guys, so help your kids do this. The more of us they're going to be, you know? And remember what I said was, you know, earlier, you know, we can't jump out of a building and fly. Because, you know, certain universal rules are put upon us because of our changed DNA, and that's limited what one mind can easily overcome. Well, many minds working together over time can change and manipulate reality in amazing ways. Things that one mind couldn't have easily overcome, many minds working together can do those things. It's proven. It's fact. And what we need to do is have unconditional beliefs, all at the same time, all at the same ideas, for long enough. And we could change the world that way. I'm going to talk a little bit about that in another topic I'm going to put a video up on, but it's about having beliefs, and it's about having 100% unconditional beliefs long enough, and positive energy, power of positive energy, and believing in yourself. Now, remember, everything I just told you right now, I mean, it's what I was led all my life up until about, you know, the last couple of years. And I'm still trying to get those negatives out of my brain, you know, with my own family situation, to try and believe in my family in ways that lead us to a more enlightened lifestyle, you know. I've been led to believe it's all complete bullshit, you know. And the thing is this was written right off the top of my head on a Saturday morning there, having a couple of coffees there the other morning. So, and I'm not claiming to be spiritually enlightened of any type right now either, or even enlightened. Not yet anyways. No, I'm just a worker bee, and I've chosen to write some thoughts down here, share them with you, you know, and I can look at this video tomorrow, the next day, and you guys can look at it and make some comments or whatever, and, you know, I can decide if that's part of the dream that I want to live in, you know, the type of dream life I would like to have, you know, which is basically simple. It's just a world full of artists, musicians, dancers, painters, poets, environmentally conscious, pro-choice, non-prejudiced, enlightened human beings who have no need for money. Sounds simple. It's not a big tall order, right? You know, I just want us to live together in harmony and possibly, hopefully soon, start sharing some of this information we know is out there on free energy, you know, with a common goal of preserving and cherishing and exploring the endless possibilities of this amazing thing that we call life. You know, the ones, you know, the ones that they're called believers. Have a good night.